Chelsea Football Club has new news regarding Mudryk, and we're going to talk about it because everyone keeps asking me, where's the Mudryk news? Well, I finally got some for you. Furthermore, Estevao's agent has come out and started speaking more, and his camp just doesn't be quiet. And we need to talk about it because this wonder kid is a kid, and we need to absolutely get to the nuts and bolts of it. And finally, Petrovic. Well, looks like Petrovic might want to stay at Strasbourg. This is the second player that's talking about potentially staying after Andre Santos. But Chelsea have got different plans, and we've got L'Equipe coming out with different articles explaining what potentially could happen next year, and we're going to get to the nuts and bolts of it. But before we get started, number one, hit that like button. 1,000 likes goes a massive way. And number two, subscribe to the channel. We're less than 100 people now away from getting to 40,000. So let's get this done today, please. I'd really appreciate it. It's been a long slog all the way to 40,000. Kind of want to hear it now. Let's get it. Mudryk joined Chelsea for 62 million euros. That could potentially go up to 90 million, right? It is wild. Arsenal Football Club wanted him. He was a hot prospect in Europe. He's joined Chelsea, and I'm going to be honest, it's been really pathetic because when you pay that kind of money for a player, you don't expect that there needs to be a whole training scheme around him to make him competent enough to play in the first game. Listen, when he had his first game against Liverpool and he came on and absolutely turned up, I was like, yo, this guy looks cold. Like, what the hell did we sign? And then slowly but surely, the more exposure we got to him, and we realized low blocks, he doesn't know what he's doing. He only knows how to utilize his pace, and he needs some education. And well, time's gone on now, and he's been suspended at the moment, and we don't know what's happening with him because of an ongoing issue. However, we've got some news now. Finally, we have got some news, and it came from the Shakhtar Donetsk chief executive. So what has happened? We know at this moment in time, we are still waiting for sample B. And according to him, the chief executive, sample B still hasn't arrived. Mudryk and his lawyers have basically decided that it was best he does a lie detector test to prove that he's not lying. And he's passed that. This is all coming from the Shakhtar chief executive, Ben Jacobs, has reported. Furthermore, since he's passed the test, they're basically saying he's innocent. He hasn't done anything out of spite. He hasn't done it because he was aware. However, we know the rules. Some doesn't have to be intentional. You need to manage what goes into your food. And the reality is he didn't. And look, we can sit here, we can berate him, we can stick it on him. There's no point. Look, you can't control what's already happened. We just have to see what kind of fate he has and what's next for Chelsea. One thing that is next for Chelsea, and the reason the Shakhtar chief executive's talking about is, he said he's a good person. He went on to praise him, really, like as the kids say, glaze him. However, the real reason he's talking about it is because there's a vested interest here. The way he plays for Chelsea could mean up to 30 million euros for Shakhtar. This is why I always say, never look at the add-ons. The add-ons only matter if he does well, and if he does well, we don't care how much we pay. So always looked at the fixed fee, and he was 62 million euros. 62 million euros and the other 30 million in add-ons, I don't think he's going to be activating. I don't know when he's going to return. So the update that we have is there is no update on the sample B. And the other update that we have is he took a lie detector test and apparently passed it. So good on him. I hope Mudryk comes back in the near future. We don't know whether he's guilty or not. We can't assume. All we know is at this moment in time he's not available for Chelsea Football Club. So we have to keep it stepping. Good on him. Let him. When he returns, he returns. There's nothing more to say on the matter. Chelsea Football Club signed a wonder kid. Estevao is literally a wonder kid. If Estevao's not a wonder kid, no one's a wonder kid. Maybe Yamal could be the only wonder kid. This kid has absolutely destroyed Brazilian Serie A. He has not only destroyed the Brazilian Serie A, it's got to the point where he's making a mockery of it. He's putting up crazy numbers, putting up better numbers than Neymar did at that age. So it gets to a point now where the hype around him has grown massively. Brazilian international caps, hype from his agents, hype from his camp. Chelsea fans are getting excited. He's coming next year, and his agent has decided to speak out again. And what he said is, this is a world-class player. He's going to be great for Chelsea. He's going to make great history. PSG and Bayern Munich wanted him, and I don't like this. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because two things happen when you have this much hype around you. Number one, there's an expectation set that you're not ready to meet. And when he arrives, he's going to be 18 because he's going to join us after the Club World Cup. Can he actually match the hype that has been set for him? Look, everybody expects Yamal performance. I don't know if he can match that. Yamal, a freak. He's one of a kind. You don't find Yamals everywhere. It's once in a generation, if one in a generation, if you know what I mean. Like, what he's doing is what Kylian Mbappe was doing at Monaco. It's what Lionel Messi was doing at Barcelona. It's these players that come once in a generation, literally, and smash it to the point of no return, where you're like, yo, how is this guy so good at 18 years old, at 19 years old? This doesn't make any sense. And that's the key here. I feel like his agent's doing too much talking. Initially, it's he needs to play in the 10. He wants to long-term play in the 10. How about you play right wing for a little bit, big man, right? How about you do something at right wing for Chelsea Football Club? Then we'll talk about moving you to the 10. Then it's he's a world-class player. Well, he's not a world-class player yet, is he? Like, let's be honest. He's only played in the Brazilian Serie A. You're absolutely setting him up to fail. And finally, the biggest one of all, I don't want him starting for Chelsea next year. If we have an 18-year-old starting for Chelsea that's going to be brand new to the league, the expectation is I want 10 goals from him. 10 goals, 7-8 assists. Can Estevao deliver that? I've got Noni, that physically is very imposing. Can't do that at this moment in time. Neto, who cost £60 million, played in the Premier League for how long? Has never done that. Jadon Sancho, never done it in the Premier League. Was known to be a wonder kid at Dortmund. Moved for £70 million. Is it really realistic for us to look at Estevao and put that kind of pressure on him? And this is where I think his agent needs to be quiet. Brother, we don't need you to talk. You've already got him to move. You don't need to talk anymore. Stop it. Because what you're doing is you're putting so much pressure on this kid that when he inadvertently flops or has one bad game, people are going to be comparing him to Ethan Nwaneri every week. And if Ethan scored, why is Estevao not scored? And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's realistic. And I want him to be eased in nice and slowly. Genuinely, I want him to be eased in nice and slowly into this first team. What we need is Noni or Neto to step up and Estevao to get 10, 15 games. The way Endrick's getting eased in at Real Madrid, that's what I want to see next year. But it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think I'm being too conservative with this player? Chelsea Football Club have a goalkeeping issue. We all can agree. A lot of people really like Robert Sanchez. They think Robert Sanchez is one of a kind, where he's a great goal saver. More importantly, he's great at collecting crosses. And he's an old school goalkeeper, but he can't play with his feet, and people are fine with that. Personally, I don't think he is bad at shot stopping. I think he can do really good shot stopping at times. I really liked how he was collecting crosses against Fulham. Sometimes I think he's very gutless when it comes to collecting crosses. When you're that tall, you're meant to impose yourself. Thibaut Courtois used to do it really well. However, we've got Petrovic on loan, and I think Petrovic is the better goalkeeper. I think he's really improved with his feet. I've seen it at Strasbourg. He's got the most passes completed. And now, Petrovic told L'Equipe he wouldn't mind staying at Strasbourg for another year. And this is the second player now that said, what I am going to say is, a lot of players talk a lot when their team's winning. So Strasbourg's doing well. All these players, André Santos, Moreira, all of them want to talk about one thing. Oh, how good it is here and how happy they are. And Petrovic is no different. Oh, it's phenomenal. I really like it in this part of France. Oh, we're in Ligue 1. We might make the Champions League. It's exciting. They want the fans on side. They want to keep that feel-good atmosphere. If Chelsea picks up the phone and says, you're coming back, you're playing, Petrovic will book his own flight. He'll go in on the cheapest flight. He will literally get to any airport in England, rent a car, drive it down himself, get to Cobham and say, where's my training gear? I'm ready to go. That's the reality of it. He can say whatever he wants. If Chelsea becomes available, he will be interested. He will want to play. Simple as that. Then the plan is, according to L'Equipe, if Petrovic doesn't stay, Jurgensen or Penders go on loan there. This is where it's very interesting, and I really want to see what happens, because there's two ways of going about this. You have a £25 million goalkeeper, right? You have a £25 million goalkeeper in Jurgensen, and he needs to get an opportunity. Either it's as a first-team goalkeeper to go and recoup some of the transfer that we paid for him, because we will eventually sell him. The plan is Penders, right? That's the plan. So send him to Strasbourg. The plan is proven already, right? You send Petrovic there, Petrovic proved himself, he's going to come back, he's be the number one. Send Jurgensen, let him follow suit. If he's better than Petrovic when he returns, he's the number one and battles Petrovic. Or you can literally just sell him on. The blueprint's there. Or you just send Mike Penders there for a few years. The problem there is, Strasbourg's not the most stable environment. Right? Strasbourg at the moment is great because they're winning. However, the minute they lose a few games, their ultras are going to be mad. So do you want to send an 18, 19-year-old goalkeeper into that environment and ask him to develop? Jurgensen's 23, sink or swim. He should have the experience. He's played for Villarreal, he's played for Chelsea. This kid's played for Genk. Is he ready to go to Ligue 1 and play potentially Europa League football? Is he? We don't know. Courtois did it. Courtois is a legendary goalkeeper though. Is this kid going to follow suit? We don't know. We will find out. However, before we continue, I think it's important that you lot tell me what you feel in the comments below. Because would you rather Petrovic be our number one, Jurgensen stay as our number one, Sanchez stay as our number one, or buy a brand new keeper? Because Penders ain't an option. It's not. Also, we spoke about the other day about why Christopher Nkunku was excluded from the Chelsea squad. And I've got the link right here, so go check it out. I think it's very informative, but before you leave, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Like I said, we're super close to 40,000. It will mean a lot to me. So do me a nice favor, hit that